Just 20 minutes after this tampon dispenser was installed in the boys' room of Brookfield High School, it was ripped from the wall.
They already have like the nurse's bathroom and they have an all gender one. So I don't really care, but it's just not that big of a deal.
Student Alistair Gall tells Fox 61 he thinks there's more important things to talk about than bathroom vandalism.
We've been doing that for like the past 3 years. I just feel like it's kind of getting blown out of proportion.
130 million Americans can't read at the most basic level. And I said, define basic level for me. And she said, basic level is they can't read a prescription label. They can't read a simple story to their children.
That's my godson. Yes, he was raised by a single mother, a great mother. His dad wasn't in his life growing up. You all shouldn't be so quick to judge people. You all don't know what he'd been through. He found something he loves to do and do it well, which is dance. A second commenter comes in saying, why is he shirtless in the school gym? And that leads me to a different direction than to have a particular opinion about him dancing like this and the whole situation. Now in Japan and in Asia, it is summer, and especially in Korea, Japan, and China, kids right now are going to special camps to further their English study, their math study. They're doing sleepover camps with cram schools. My daughter in particular is going to one particular school for her junior high school studies and another school just to shore up her math study. And that is normal for kids here. So
130 million.
130 million.
So that's more than a third of the whole country.
Can't read a simple story to their children.
That's insane. It's really that many?
The idea of school is we are going to get ready to compete in math, English, science, history, all of those things in the real world. After elementary school, there are no more jokes and no more fun in school. It's work. And so to see this in a high school gymnasium, it makes me question, what is the purpose of school now? Because if these young kids are thinking they're going to compete with Chinese kids and Japanese kids, they got another thing coming if this is what they're doing in school.
And further to that, 32% of fourth graders can't read at even a basic level, and 24% of eighth graders can't read at a basic level, and 19% of high school graduates, according to the Department of Education, can't read. Graduates.
This article from CBS, Governor Tim Walz made tampons free in Minnesota schools. Here's why it's drawing Trump's ire. As governor of Minnesota, one of Tim Walz's accomplishments was signing a 2023 education law that included a mandate for schools to provide free menstrual supplies to students in grades 4 through 12. I think that this is a fantastic use of taxpayer money. As a former liberal, I don't know what I call myself now, I think that these kinds of uses of taxpayer money is what taxes are for. But here's the problem. The Minnesota law, however, doesn't specify in which bathrooms the menstrual supplies must be located. Instead, it requires school districts to develop a plan to ensure all students who menstruate can have access to free tampons and pads.
Now, how does that work? You're graduating high school, but you can't read at the most basic level. So when I'm saying there's a silent epidemic, we've got some schools that are changing their grading standards to close the gap.
So they're making it easier.
In most countries, that is not going to be a problem. But in the country that we're in now, it is a huge problem because we can't decide what a boy and a girl is. And in school, where young kids are trying to get educations where they can compete against other kids around the world, quite simply put, wasting time worrying about this is not serving young American students well.
Well, one of them that we looked at, a C is now 44 to 64%. You make 45, you got a C. You take a test, get 45, you made a C.
Wow.
Now, was that not an F when you went to school?
That was an F, yeah.
That was
now
an
it's
F.
a C?
Yeah, now 44 to 64 is a C.
70 was always a C.
Right. That was a C minus because that was the bottom of the C's, right?
Right.
So now,
If you ever go to a Japanese bookstore and you look in the kids section, not only are you going to see a variety of toys and books that are made for young kids, but you're going to see supplemental study materials like this particular poster, which is a representation of all of the Chinese characters that second grade 8-year-olds are expected to master in not just writing, but pronunciation and meaning by the end of their second grade year. This is the poster for the third year. Again, they're expected to not just be able to use them, but master them, because every year after, they're going to learn more characters.
44 to 64 is a C, 64 to 84 is a B, 84 to 100 is an A. You got to drop below 24 to get an F.
Wow, 24.
Now that's how they're closing the gap and pushing them on to the next grade. So if you can make a average of 30, you get a D, that's passing, you move on to the next level.
But what is really interesting is when you look at the math. This is a worksheet from elementary 6th grade, which would be American junior high school first year. And you see the 6 there is the representation of that. And they're expecting you to be able to deal with areas of circles and write. You see the shiki here, which means they want you to write a algebraic formulation of the equation that you use to solve the problem. In effect, they're all doing algebra in elementary school. This is another variation of the same kind of homework that they're expected to do. You can see here they're expected to use an algebraic equation to solve different kinds of math equations. And this is standard. And so when I look in America and I see these conversations about, are there going to be tampons in the bathroom? Who's going to do this? People dancing in the gym. I'm wondering, how are they keeping up? Because kids in Asia, they're not playing around. This is a viral video in China of a young girl who is pleading for more playtime after she finished her homework, and she's arguing with her father, not arguing, pleading to her father to give her more time, as the father understands that she needs to study to be competitive. Can you answer my question first? Is that okay? I just want to ask you one question. Could you please answer me? Respectfully, I would like to ask you a question. Is that okay? Am I treating you badly? Is there anything I'm doing wrong? No matter what it is, you can tell me. I will change. But I need my free time. I cannot have no freedom. I cannot spend all of my time studying. In order to study it all, I also need my rest. Do you understand? I've already finished my homework. I've gotten everything done. Is there any reason why I cannot play? I've already finished my chores. What is the problem? You can play, but not for too long. I always go to bed at 9 p.m. Do you think I've ever played until midnight? You've been a good girl lately. Lately, I've been a good girl every day. 每天. Yeah. It'll be great if you can keep it up. What's very interesting about this interaction, one, is that the young girl is extremely polite. She's being respectful and she's pleading. She's not demanding because it's a different culture. But she's doing everything she's supposed to do, but it's a tough spot for both of them because she wants to relax more. But the dad knows that if she relaxes more, she's going to maybe fall behind the competing kids in her classroom, which is a tough place to be in. But the issue is, this is the dynamic. This is what's going on in schools in Asia. And so if your kid is going to a gym that has a kid that's dancing topless, that's not going to compete with this young girl who already has her study habits on point from the beginning. I don't expect you to do too much. Don't expect me to do much. Whatever you're asking of me, even a robot couldn't do it. Even if I had 8 hands, I couldn't do it. And you still say you don't put pressure on me. How about you try it? I tell you one last thing. Please treasure our childhood days. Yes, I'll cherish it. The only warning I have for people that are involved with schools in America is that the competition in Asia is on a different level. And so if the great amount of conversation in schools is going to be about how I identify or how I feel or safe spaces, okay, that's fine. But when it comes down to that math and that science, and I dare say even the English, you are in a fight. You're in a race against these kids over here. Maybe the kids in this particular country are not as good with the English, but you get into the math, the science, the STEM, the computers, boy, I hope y'all put your work hat on, because all of the talk about who's in what bathroom and who's wearing what and how I identify, that's all feelings based. But in other parts of the world, those kids are hungry, man. I've seen the hungry kids. I see the kids that are falling asleep on the train at 10 o'clock at night because they're coming away from their study session after they finish doing their sports, and they go home, eat some quick dinner, fall asleep at 11:30, 12 o'clock, wake up at 6:30, ready to do it again. And then when it gets to the summer, they're spending the entirety of it studying so that they can get a couple extra points on that test so that they can get to the right school to live their life that they want to. There is not a time to do the identity stuff. So if you're doing that identity stuff in the States, I just hope you're prepared for a world that's going to be maybe racing past you in the education part of school. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. Catch you next video. Take care.